also an Oxford-based Indigenous climate justice activist from West Papua. I'm speaking on behalf of the Free West Papua campaign and the historic Green State Vision launched this week at COP26, which is an incredible moment for climate justice. For those of you who aren't aware, West Papua is an island which makes up half of New Guinea. It has some of the largest green and blue lungs on this earth, as it is home to one of the largest rainforests in the world, which has unique species of birds, plants, animals, and the ocean surrounding it has huge coral reefs, all rich in biodiversity. Over half of West Papuans' population is made up of 250 diverse indigenous tribes with unique cultures and languages who have been custodians of the land. However, over the last 60 years, West Papua has been ravaged, brutalized by Indonesia's violent colonial military occupation on the region. Indeed, Indonesia is greedy for West Papua's natural resources like gas, coal, and palm oil, and have brutalized West Papua's land and the people through mass deforestation, huge mining projects, and a genocide which has led to the deaths of over 500,000 indigenous peoples, and kidnappings, forced displacement, land grabs, and torture by the Indonesian military and police. The brutal colonial regime is supported by multinational mining and fossil fuel giants in the global north, including British-based companies, BP and ECR Minerals. Together, the military and these companies are committing violent atrocities to the indigenous population and to the environment, which has global ramifications for deepening the climate and ecological crisis today. However, in the face of a media blockout, constant oppression and violent tyranny, the West Papuan people still continue to struggle and fight. This week, leaders of the Free West Papua movement launched their historic Green State Vision, showing the world that through their independence, they have the solutions to fight climate change and ecological breakdown. This bold vision for indigenous climate justice is based on traditional Melanesian beliefs around reciprocity between all beings, and explicitly places the rights of people and the planet before profit. It envisions a decolonized West Papua, where ecological and political freedom are both seen as sacred and climate justice is advocated internationally. It envisions a state driven by the needs of society and the environment, rather than the economy. It will build a genuine community based on democratic society with free healthcare and free education. It envisions a state which will kick out the polluting and extractive industries from West Papua. And it will ensure that ecocide can be recognized as a crime. It is a restorative in its outlook and looks for long-term solutions to reverse some of the major damages that colonial occupation has done to West Papua and to mitigate climate change globally. Starting with West Papua, this vision hopes to extend to other Pacific islands who are also facing the worst impacts of global heating and climate breakdown. This transformative, revolutionary, and radical vision is far bolder, just, and most importantly, what is needed than any of the solutions currently put forward by the world's richest leaders at COP26. We cannot stop climate and ecological breakdown without listening and supporting the solutions of indigenous communities. We also must learn from these solutions and push ourselves to become more bolder with our demands. We must recognize that our fight for climate justice must be a fight for racial justice, it must be a fight for social justice, and it must be a fight against colonialism, against imperialism, against a globalized capitalist system which prioritizes extraction and exploitation of land and people for the sake of profit. Our struggle for climate justice must center global South voices, indigenous, black, brown, and other marginalized groups who are currently facing the worst impacts of ecological collapse and the climate crisis, but are the least responsible. This is why the struggle for West Papua must be at the forefront of our fight for climate justice. You can help spread awareness of West Papua and their Green State vision by getting involved with the campaign and looking them up online. Thank you so much for being here, for your support. We stand in solidarity.